Dang, I knew we ordered an Uber here in Oregon, but I didn't think it'd be a flatbed Cummins. Whoa. There's some spare tires in the back.
Boy, that was nasty.
So the whole company has.
What'd you think, Bruce? Oh my god.
Do not drop the phone, Ryan. I know you've lost the mics and everything, but don't drop them.
Dude, that makes me lightheaded.
So while we're right here, we flew out here to Sweet Home, Oregon to hang out with the guys from Radiator Supply House and Icebox Performance. Shout out to Mr. Will Garrett here. He's running away from the camera. This is really trippy, like looking down.
My camera doesn't do justice. That's a lot right there.
Yeah. So this is a dam, but obviously this is the low side of it over there. It's a hydro dam too. And the high side is over there. So, dude, that's still way down there.
Oh yeah.
Ryan, do not put the phone over the. That's a lot of radiators.
Couple. Oh my god.
So what do we rate this Uber, Ryan? 5 stars?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow, you were not kidding when you said you've had
There's a couple.
the gambler trucks. Jeez.
So everyone's got a story. Like this one here, Pepe. They drive this one. The turquoise one is Kelson Motors out of Lake Havasu. The blue truck, Jake Godfrey from, of course, Nitro Circus. The red truck is Kev Dog and Scotty Dog. They run those. The next one's the OG. The cattle truck. Of course, that's the official tour bus from 2014 for Nitro Circus. Travis Pastrana used to come out of the back of it. Motorcycle.
This is sweet.
Oh no.
What, is Hunter here today?
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh, we got the same little scooters at our shop.
Oh yeah. In the summer, everybody's on one, ripping it around.
Yeah, we ride ours from our shop because Napa is like 100 yards from us. So we're always running back and forth to Napa to get on the scooters. This is sweet.
Jeremy and Alex are getting to do that.
Oh.
Fired up. It's a
What's that? These two are right here local. This here is an Oregon oak. This is a Nevada oak. These are all Oregon oak.
That boy is massive.
That thing is huge. What the heck is that doing?
Maybe for like a 3412 genset, cat genset.
Why is it like, why are the cores separated like that? It's just how they go together.
That's the way you can build them with that.
So you can replace one corner instead of like.
Take the whole thing apart, replace that one right there, put it all back together. We just laid it down.
Wow.
30 seconds to go. Everything's stand up.
I think they'll be standing right back up, putting it there.
Oh wow, the shroud. Holy crap.
Put it all back together. We've got a water test it here soon.
It's a very precise procedure right there. Holy crap. I didn't want to know how much that radiator costs. Sorry for the first part of the video. The sound wasn't all that great, but we decided to whip out one mic, or be one between me and everyone else we're talking to. But they stood up this massive radiator right here, and this is a 4-core radiator, and it goes in. What'd you say it goes in? 3412 cat genset. So big daddy, and that's like 1,000 horsepower engine, right? Something like that. More, a lot. So these guys build everything. So we're about to start our factory tour and check out everything in here at Icebox. We're gonna be building a radiator today. Tomorrow we're gonna be building a intercooler to go in the pulling truck, and checking out some other specialized radiators they have for the new 389. So let's get started on this tour. I see lots of blue boxes. Isn't like the blue box thing, what you're known for?
That's us, the home of the blue box, ice box.
It is pretty icy in here today, though.
Yeah, you know what they say though. They say there's a global warming problem, but we'll solve it one radiator at a time.
There you go. Look at all these things. Jeez.
So these are, these are stuff off of the oil field, big frac units.
Some serious radiators. So
Those are a couple little guys. So.
a lot of stuff people don't know is that Icebox isn't only about performance stuff. A lot of it's just like manufacturing stuff for specialized machines and stuff like that. And
Your direct fits for all your Pete's, Kenworths, your Cats, Komatsus. That's and, you know, something that we're proud of here is in the times now when you hear nobody has stuff on the shelf, supply chain issues, which has been a problem. You look at these shelves; they're full, and they're full of A product. They're not a whole bunch of D product from the 70s, you know, A models and 359s. Granted, we do have those on the shelf.
yeah,
We have that stuff around, but I mean, over here you'll actually see there's a fair amount of tanks for guys that want to do like a E model conversion for
Okay.
359 or for A model Kenworth. We build custom tanks for guys put newer engines in those.
everything. The blue box definitely does it, though.
Yeah.
You can't mistake it. So let's jump into seeing some radiators being built at the whole
Well,
process.
they're
Everybody's on
minutes
lunch
from-
break right now.
they're just on a quick break, but by the time we get in there, they'll be doing it.
Oh, so here's some cores, huh?
So this is where we keep our raw core. So there's all different core heights, designs.
Is that the brake alarm?
That's the brake alarm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you see is. Pull up, Quentin, how we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Boy, you gotta keep this place under lock and key for sure.
Oh, buddy. Yeah.
Straight to the scrapyard and some of this stuff. Wow.
We'll just do a quick look out here. It's a little wet, but
This is your outdoor parts warehouse.
yeah. So every radiator you see here virtually is a radiator we built. These are all samples. It's not something we rebuild. We
Okay.
don't rebuild this stuff. This is a sample, you know, for some sort of an old heister. This is a lot of our forklift stuff, and you got logging stuff, and of course you can see all the cat product out there. You know, big cat genset similar to the one that we just looked at.
Yep.
Kind of cool. These came out of Folsom Prison, so Johnny Cash probably knows a little bit about those.
Wow.
They shipped those back up when we built them 3 new ones for the prison.
So this is just examples of like if someone says they need something, you've got an old one to build off of.
We pull it in, right. So we'll pull in the old radiator. Oftentimes those blue books we looked at earlier,
Yep.
now we've processed past needing the sample, but we like to keep a hard file of everything here, just so if we ever have a problem, we can go back and look at exactly how Cat made it, Kenworth made it,
Peterbilt. Yep.
Peterbilt, or whoever. Here, how we doing? Good.
So what's the difference between like a factory intercooler or radiator compared to like the ones that you guys are making that are better, that have bigger cores and stuff like that?
So we'll jump right into it. So a factory charge air cooler, they use extruded tubes. So the tube is it's an extruded tube. It goes in to a header plate. There's a fusion weld done through an oven.
Okay.
And they're really weak. You know, your ACERT engines in a lot of your 07 era-ish trucks, I mean, they would blow those charge air coolers because they're putting, you know, 50, 55 PSI through those.
Yep.
When you use this bar and plate design, this is the same concept we use for a high pressure oil cooler.
Okay.
So we can punch 150 PSI through this and we know it's not going to pop on you. So the beauty is, you know, whether guys are playing with, you know, the old Dodges where they're putting 70, 80 you know, pounds of
Yeah,
boost
me.
to it, or, you know, or guys are putting, you know, 50 pounds of boost to a, you know, their Cats and their Cummins, which you don't see that very often. We know these things can hold up. So
They're pretty stout too. Like
Oh.
that's
we
small
always
piece.
kind of make a joke about it. So when you buy one of our charge air coolers, you also need to order a set of springs for the front end of the
Yeah.
truck, you know, add a leaf. So,
Wow.
and the other thing that's really nice about this
Uh-huh.
is you can take these things and you know you can be rough on them.
And they're not going to
And
puncture.
you're not going to see issues. You do something like that with a extruded tube, you're going to have leaks in it. So think about that going down the road. if you pick up a rock chip, something throws up and gets through a grill or however, a fan picks something up, that stuff's going to hold up. And, where the old extrusion could you can be leak, you're down. And,
Or a dent and causing airflow to drop.
yeah.
So these are all like build out kits getting ready to go together.
Getting ready to go together. Yep. So this is a prefab. They're putting all these kits together. We'll jump right into it. This is our own proprietary extrusions that we have built. A lot of this is for oil coolers.
Okay.
And what we want is we want a nice thick corner on those
they're not
so that
blowing
it can
out
hold
the
the
corner.
PSI. So we designed our own dies, and then we have a company build these for us.
Right there, Ryan's what he's talking about. See the build up in the corner there? Cool.
This is all our prefab. This is where all the parts components are starting to come together. They first of all come off a plasma table, come down here, and they start building all the fittings, hoses, bend it, they break it. I shouldn't say they build all the fittings. We'll get into the machine shop. The machine shop, anything that needs to be machined,
Like
they'll build
specialty
those.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, then we get in here to, how we doing?
Good. Looks like a little oil cooler right there, ain't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a little oil cooler, a little fuel cooler, one of the two.
All hand built. Like a charge air cooler right there.
Yep, that's looking like something you might recognize.
Yep.
So this is the lineup of everything coming through jobs. So they're just grabbing jobs as they come off the line. These guys prep them. They go to the welders.
So they get like a rough build right here, and then they get welded out completely.
And they go to the weld shop.
Hear those welders just buzzing away. So our viewers are going to want to see the Peterbilt radiators and Kenworth radiators, semi trucks. Is this where the old school stuff is built right here?
This is where the assembly is of all the bolt together radiators. So this would be like a 359 late model. Last couple of years of a 359 or 379, 378, 377. This core would fit in all of those.
So real similar to what we got
Very
last
similar.
week. Yeah.
Very similar. Yep. So that's something we specialize in. A lot of people, you talk about those old Pete's Kenworths, the
Yeah.
old, even we got stuff back into the 40s and 50s of the Pete's and Kenworths that we actually have the samples here to build. So makes it nice. We're not just your typical box shop that is slinging boxes. We're actually
So some of those guys with like needle nose projects and stuff like that, y'all are the ones that come to for sure.
Yeah, you got a needle nose and a guy wants to throw an intercooler on an old Big Cam 4.
Yeah.
That's something we do.
Cool. So building a fan shroud right there? Is that what that is or something?
Fan shroud.
So that's something else you guys build, are fan shrouds and stuff like that. I noticed on the
We
website
do
too.
more for the genset type products, so
Yeah.
like the big genset you saw. This will use if I'm right for some Cat C18s. We got a bunch of those going down to the oil patch.
The ladies' touch always has the best welds. Look at that. That you?
It was.
That is nice.
Hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Nice welds.
And this is our first week.
Oh, really?
These are going to be Caterpillar, like D5 oil coolers they're building.
Wow.
Caterpillar's discontinued those, so it's a piece that we build.
You guys continued them. The sweet smell of cutting oil in here.
Yeah, so Garrett,
How's it going?
Gordy is the magician in here. Right? I said, you're the magician in here.
Yeah, if you want to.
You turn blocks of metal into beautiful pieces.
So what are those for right there?
Mind reader too.
Mind reader? Hey, would you read my palm? Tell me what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
These are for the what's that? The D5Cs or whatever. They got
D5Cs?
the
Yep.
split clamps on them
Yep.
with these other blocks.
Yep, for the radiator side of it. Yep.
Big old solid steel, yeah.
So I'll still end up putting a 3/8 hole in there. And when we go to install it, I guess it's a
clamp.
bushing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. You got to drill a round hole through those.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
why I did it this way.
Tighten the piss out of them, yeah. I'm gonna have me one of those mills one day. I need one of those so bad. I want one. Don't need it, but I want it. So much welding shop. Oh, I like all the signs up there. Solder shop, machine shop. Big old brake. Them boys are nice. Need some metal or aluminum? All kinds of crazy stuff, ain't it? Oh, let's do some bead blasting in here, huh?
Yeah, when we solder any radiator up, some of your old trucks will have solder on radiators. They go into a blast first of all. This is more of a bead blast. This is actually a wheelabrator, a shot blast.
Yep.
So it's actually steel shot in there.
Look at that hook. Ain't much left of that old boy. Big machines right there. Oh wow, this is awesome. We definitely got to see some of this.
When the fire happens.
This is definitely some like old school stuff you don't see anymore for sure. What the heck did that radiator go in?
So this is going to be like a Cummins power unit, just a little generator, small Cummins generator.
Wow.
We'll tin all these tanks up here with solder all the way around. It preserves them, it keeps them from rusting.
Okay. Y'all must burn through a lot of gas.
Yeah. It's a system that my dad developed. Most radiator shops don't operate the way this is here. I've traveled all over the world. I was in England just recently. They're leaving here shortly to go to Jordan and Dubai. And I've never seen people use the combo that we use out there to get fuel. But we want heat fast. We want to get the job done now.
Yeah, sure.
And this is what they look like. Oftentimes, a prepped up tank, soldered up. Well, like that back there, actually the soldered one.
Yep. Oh, what is this? It's a pressure testing, I guess.
So this is what we do all our testing. Every radiator, every cooler gets pressure checked. Some factories do spot testing. We test every one. Radiators usually get double PSI, so most radiators operate about 13, 15 PSI. We test 25. And then oil coolers are about 150 PSI is what we test.
There's that big radiator we just saw earlier.
That's going in for a test.
Ryan, don't fall in, you might grow a tail.
So a lot of people think this is antifreeze. It is not.
It's just dyed water.
Just a little bit of powder that reflects light, reflects bubbles.
That's how green eggs and ham are made.
We have a little fun here. So if somebody puts a 2-week notice in and finishes strong, like we ask people, finish strong when you're moving on to your next job.
Yeah.
They usually end up in the tank on their last day. So.
Kind of like how many steps are around the lake for Ty. Now that's a big oil cooler right there, ain't it? Yeah. Holy crap. Got to be an oil cooler of some kind.
That's going to be for a big straw press. Is what that's for. So it takes those 1,000-pound bales, presses them down to what looks like 100-pound bales.
Really?
And then load containers and ship them to Asia.
Dang, boy.
You put 0.5 on my phone.
Well, if all goes well, there will be no bubbles, right?
Alright, you're clear over here.
Wow. Oh, that's like so, what do you call it? Satisfying seeing the water come over the grates like that. So seeing some bubbles at first is not a big deal because they're going to make adjustments, make sure everything's tight. That's why everything gets tested.
You get a lot of air pockets, so you kind of got to wait for all the air pockets to come out of it.
Oh, that's why he's shaking it, I'm assuming. So cool. So moving on from the radiator testing, that was, like you said, you don't get to see something that big every single day, so that was sweet. Is this where all the painting happens?
So this is water-based paint.
Yep.
Try to be environmentally friendly here. So that's a big concern with what we do. So basically the same paint you would paint on the interior of your bedroom. We just do it, but we do it in black.
Layer it up too, boy. And you gotta pour the paint to it to get down inside the fins and everything too. So this is where they pop out on this side of the door?
This is where they pop out. Every piece comes through quality control here. I'm the final quality control. They'll measure them. They'll put the blue book against them. And then every piece has its own serial number. We can track back to every person that touched it through the whole process. We're down to the sales rep that took the order, whoever fabbed it, whoever drew it up. And then once it gets a serial number on it, part number, date, all of that, it goes into a boxing or a crating. And then at that point, then it either goes for shipping out the door or goes on the shelf.
There you go. It's always the ladies' touch too because they do everything so good compared to men.
You're not camera shy, right, Chelsea?
I had a lot of people comment on the last video we posted about how they show up in the foam.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, they show up so well we can't even get them out of the foam. So that's a good problem. They're not going to get damaged. That big blue box, you cannot miss that for nothing.
Nope.
There it is, another one out the door.
You gonna do what I think you're gonna do?
That,
I heard stories about
I was just going to say, hey, put this in your pocket real quick.
I'm just going to expand.
there's been stories about people putting them in water bottles or Gatorade bottles and tossing them around.
Our old building.
I've heard
we had a
stories.
lot of-
I've heard stories.
That's how we warm up around here. So
It's just like a chemical reaction. Are the barrels heated already or something?
Well, it's when you put the two together.
They just have a reaction.
Yeah, they're just nice and hot.
Feel that. Talk about some hot pants, huh? That's cool.
Good stuff. Thank you.
That's gonna take some serious crating. How do y'all ship that? Standing up?
It came in. This this one actually came in pretty close to us from the cat dealer. This one more or less had a damaged core in it.
So
this is very similar to the same piece we looked at for the Folsom Prison out there.
Okay.
Very same piece. So we build a lot of these for export. They go down into like Puerto Rico and Cayman Islands and Virgin Islands, and, all those areas that depend on standby power. That's where a lot of this product goes. We see actually quite a bit of this went into northern Africa. Shell Oil was doing a bunch of repowers, so we built quite a few units.
That's a serious radiator. The camera is not going to do this thing justice. It's so huge.
Go lay down next to
So y'all rebuilt the tanks and everything, or it's all brand new?
Yeah, we'll build brand new tanks for this one here. Side rails, every piece on it we'll build new here.
That's insane. We thought we were coming to see big rig radiators.
Yeah. Big is relative. Big
Yeah.
is relative. Yeah, and the nice thing is, most of this stuff, you order this stuff from most factories and they're 6 months out, they're 9 months out to build something. If we need to build something like this in, 2 weeks, we can knock something like that out in a short amount of time.
All right, guys, we're back out here in the shop. We're going to be building a radiator that would go in like a Peterbilt 379, 359. Just so you guys can see the start to finish process on the radiator we installed in the pulling truck business expense. We were originally going to come out here before and build the radiator, but we needed it before we could get out here. So we're going to build one now so you can see that radiator we installed. I'll drop the video down here in the description so you can see what we're talking about, how it's built. All right, so we're finishing our tour over here, circling back to how the radiators are built, the one we put in our Peterbilt 379 pulling truck, and Will's going to show us what the 4 and 5 row radiator means, what the difference is, and all that stuff. Because I know nothing about radiator, he knows everything about radiators. So when you guys are telling me a 4 row, 5 row, what does that mean? And what is this, a brass or copper radiator? Because right here it looks like it's aluminum, but
Right.
I mean, there's just so many different colors people associate with different metals. So
Right, so here at Radiator Supply House, when we build an ice box, there's it's easy to build stuff on price, but what we want to build is radiators, ice boxes, to where they hold up, they last. When you go put 30 grand into a new cap motor doing your in-frame, you can actually use it with confidence that you can put 100,000 on that trailer, and you can pull the hills of the West Coast or the Colorado Rockies, and you're not going to heat up. So the way we do this, and what we highly suggest, is a 4 row or a 5 row, both are good, but there's so many variations of how you have those built. So copper brass, of course. This is like for your old 379s, something you would see in your old W900Ls, some of your old FLD 120s, this same concept. And then you got a brass header. This, what looks like aluminum, is actually solder.
okay.
Typically what you're going to hear from most manufacturers, somewhere around, it's a 60-40, 60% you got solder and tin, lead and tin mixed, and so that's what you put in. This is a beautiful design where they actually fill it all the way up to the top of the tubes. It's not always necessary.
Yeah.
If you don't see that, it doesn't mean it's a bad core or a good core. This is just a good idea here. I'm going to fill those up. We come in and we always kill that end row. And if you look at your radiators on most trucks where they fail, it's that end one.
Okay.
And that's because of expansion and contraction. As that heats up and cools down, it cracks that end row. So what we always do is we kill that end row, so when it does crack it, you don't even know it's happening.
Yep.
And so it just keeps on. They say it can add about 5 years for the life of the radiator. So we go in, every radiator that we build, we kill those end rows so it gives more life to the radiator. Yes, we can outlast our warranty of a 1-year warranty on these radiators, but there's so many radiator jobs in the world. I don't need to try to get your truck back in here in 3 years.
Yep.
So we need to build a quality unit. Of course, then you break down the core itself. If you look down here, the tube spacing, the type of tubes, the type of fins, there's so many things that go into how a core is built. Again, you lift this thing up, and we're going to say that thing is about 85 pounds. You can build this same piece at 35
It's definitely
pounds.
stout, yeah.
So
All right, so we know all the stuff about it. We're going to put one of these
put it
together.
together. So we got Jesse here. Jesse is the guy who is our assembler. He's been doing it for years. Like I said earlier, the thing I love about Jesse, he doesn't build them wrong. So he doesn't put side rails and brackets on backwards. So let's put this thing together, Jesse.
And like we said, this is the what model truck is this one for right here?
This is going to be for, it would fit a 379, 378, 377. Actually, with this design, you could actually go in the last 2 years of a 359.
Okay.
So this is the actual same unit would have been built there.
So same one that we got for our truck.
Same truck you got, yep.
They're gonna fit really tight.
That just means it's built within spec. Test.
Currently for the testing. Throw it on.
Yeah, let's see how you guys do this. 'Cause it's kind of awkward to move these things underneath the bolts, I guess. Now we take it to the big green tank of mystery fluids.
Follow along, Jesse. Corner.
Ooh. Oh, that's where the heat's coming from up there. So what they're doing now is he's sealing off all the ports where obviously water would be inside. We don't want any water in it right now. And he's putting some plugs over it because they're going to pressurize this thing up to like 35 pounds of air. They're going to dunk it in this tank just like we did the last one. That big boy.
Go.
You're missing it. No, I don't. Where? All right, here we go. We're going to dunk this thing. There's a spider on my hand.
All right, the first radiator by Bruce.
Oh, boy.
Built. Let's see how it works.
Get fired before I even start. All right, it's full of air.
Hey, put some air pressure in it. Look at that.
It's like I passed step 1. Oh, he's gonna make it leak. I must see a leaker. You must have ice water in your veins already. Tightening them things up. This water is like 30 degrees, 40 degrees.
Come on, lefty tighty, righty loosey.
Good. There we go. She passed the leak test.
Where do we go now?
Wow, that's a hell of a lift right there. All right, off we go. Fortunately, we're not going to get to spray foam this one, but we're going to crate it because it's so heavy they can't put it in cardboard. So. Oh wow. All right, we gotta find a can of blue paint. There's blue paint.
Do that.
I found it.
Yeah, right there.
Shoot it upside down.
Fired.
Almost lost my foot there.
You'll toss it. There you go.
Is there any like particular
Now you got it.
like that?
Center her up, pull her up just about 2 inches. That way. There you go.
Gotta get this cool paint shaken up. Any direction?
Go for it.
Just let it eat.
Do it the same way that you do it on that I-90 overpass.
Oh, okay.
Bridge over there.
Boom.
And then come down and hit it from this angle.
Okay,
here.
so you get all the fins, yeah.
See how these fins work.
Boom.
Pull that baby off.
Ready? You ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Go for it.
Boom.
They call him an artiste.
Nice.
I think you could have done better.
It's pretty nice. I wonder who made this. I don't know. So they're gonna crate this thing up just the same way we got ours in a nice big plywood box, and it's gonna go to some lucky mother trucker. Let's go check on a few other things. We'll be right back. So before we get out of this video, we're gonna check out this huge genset radiator that we've seen them testing earlier. Looks like they've got her all bolted in its mounting home. There's another, looks like an oil cooler mounted up inside there. This thing is just huge, isn't it? It's huge. She's pretty much done. That's a big radiator, boys. Well, guys, that is a wrap for our day 1 at Radiator Supply House and Icebox Performance. I want to thank those guys for getting us out here to see how radiators are built. And I thought it'd be an awesome video to show you guys how semi-truck radiators are built. I don't think there's any videos out there showing how semi-truck radiators are built. And why not show you how the best radiators in the industry are being built right here at Radiator Supply House. So, in case you guys need radiators, you know who to check out. RadiatorSupplyHouse.com or Icebox Performance. Check them out on all your social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You'll see lots of videos with us doing cool stuff with them. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff with the pulling truck. In the next video, we're going to be showing you guys how we built our Charge air cooler, the big thing that hot air flows through and cold air comes out of, and a new radiator for the 389 Pete. So lots of cool videos coming at you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below, have any of you had a icebox radiator put in any of your semi-trucks, or if you haven't, maybe you should check them out and get you a 100% awesome radiator from Radiator Supply House. Make sure you guys smash the like button, comment down below, and we'll freaking see you in the next video. Peace.